Good morning, good morning. Nice to be with you all. All right, we are live across multiple platforms. And life is great. Life is great. So, I have some stuff to share today that might seem a bit controversial, but it's not really at all. It's just very straightforward. Somehow, everyone in your life has a problem with the fact that you love yourself and that you're empowered in who you are. And the reason why they have a problem with the fact that you love yourself and that you're empowered in who you are is because now they can't control you. They can't manipulate you. They can't guilt you. They can't shame you. They can't use coercion. They can't bully you into participating in what they were verbally articulating as love. However, it was the furthest thing from love imaginable. So some of you are beginning to wake up to the fact that you have a family, but only in name. These people are genetically related to you. However, they don't uplift you. They don't support you. They've never advocated on behalf of you. They've never been there for you when you've gone through anything challenging in your life. And they are just a family in name. And they say that they love you. However, their actions and how they show up every day do not demonstrate or do not align with the actions or the modeling of how somebody who loves you shows up. You've also got friends who are having a very hard time with your empowerment, with you stepping into loving yourself and being empowered in who you are, and they can't quite figure out what to do with you. So the smear campaign and the gaslighting's already begun, and the disparaging of you has already begun because they want to recapture you so they can control you. So being who you are is the solution. However, for everyone in your life, being who you are very quickly becomes the problem. It becomes a problem at work. It becomes a problem in family dynamics. It becomes a problem in your home life. It becomes a problem everywhere. And after a while, you have to begin to recognize that you have been complicit in participating in all of these things that aren't really loving. And you've been complicit in your participation in all of these things because you didn't know what love was. You didn't know where to source it from. See, you're all at the point now where you can't blame anyone in your life for the fact that they can't love you or they couldn't love you, because you've discovered that love is not outside of you, that love is always sourced from within you. Leave me a 1 yes in the chat if you're beginning to get this, right? That you can see now more than ever that love is inside of you, that you were always the source of it, that it could never come from outside of you. But do you understand how disruptive and inconvenient this is for your families that are just families in name, and for your friends that are quote unquote friends that have never actually supported you, never shown up for a hard day in your life, never advocated on behalf of you at all, ever, right? And so this is where now the rubber meets the road and the great shakeout begins. And I have to kind of throw the gauntlet down a bit and challenge you all. Because who wants to participate in a family dynamic with people that are just family in name? Nobody. Who wants that? They criticize you, they judge you, they blame you, they make you feel bad for being happy, they make you wrong for being peaceful, they make you wrong for doing your own thing, staying on your own disc, staying in your own vibration. Nobody wants that. Nobody needs that. And who wants to go hang out with friends who just try and outdo each other on an egoic level or whatever? Nobody wants that. So of course you don't want to participate in old dynamics, hang out with people that you used to hang out with, go to the things that you used to go to. You're not weird. You're not crazy. You're sane. You're becoming sane. You're waking up to the sanity and the sobriety of the love that you are. Do you know how crazy you looked participating in all that wild stuff outside of you while you were begging and pleading for love? You see, because when you convince an entire population of people that love is an external phenomenon, then from the get-go they need other people in order to experience love. Do you know how horrible that is? It's horrible. And so thank God you don't fit in. Thank God you don't belong. Thank God you can't participate in these family dynamics with family members that are just family in name, that have never shown up for you, never supported you, never advocated on behalf of you for a single moment ever, right? No way. Some of you have a marriage that's only a marriage in name. Some of you have a relationship that's only a relationship in name. Some of you have sibling dynamics and only just sibling dynamics in name, but there's no love. There's no support. You know what that's like? That's like hiring a personal trainer who in name is a personal trainer who just sits there for 60 minutes on their phone playing video games while you just stand there doing nothing. If you hired a personal trainer to help you with your fitness who just stood there playing Candy Crush for 60 minutes while you just kind of stood there in the gym, how would this support you? Like, how is this helping you? So at some point you have to realize that you've been complicit in all of this stuff that isn't based in love. But I want to help you out a little bit here. Beloved, you didn't know any better. You didn't know what love was. You didn't know where love came from, where you could source it from. You didn't know. So you can't hold it against you, right? You can't hold your lack of love for yourself and respect for yourself against you. You can't. Of course you stayed in a marriage that was just a marriage in name. Of course you stayed in a family dynamic with family members that were just family in name. Of course you participated in ego dynamics and command and control dynamics with peer groups and friends because you wanted to fit in and belong. Because they made you believe that you needed them. Anytime anyone makes you believe that you need them, they're taking advantage of you. You don't need anybody. You're a sovereign being. Last time I checked, you're amazing. Last time I checked, you're adorable. Last time I checked, you're infinite. Last time I checked, when all of this ends, you're still infinite and adorable, and the truth never changes. So after a while, we have to realize, wait a cotton picking minute. What have I been tolerating in my life? In last night's accountability call, I came up with a term for these friends. They're sweet tea friends. Exhausting to be around, not good for your health, and if you hang out with them for long enough, you're going to get diabetes, for sure. Not just type 2, type 1. Super sweet tea. When you come to the South, all you have to do is have a sip of sweet tea once, and you will never drink it ever again. I'm convinced that the only way that you can actually have a career in drinking sweet tea is if you're raised on sweet tea and you just don't know any better. Because how people haven't figured out the correlation between sweet tea and the fact that maybe diabetes is on the rise is astounding to me. But some of you have sweet tea friends. Inauthentic. Oh my God, it's exhausting hanging out with them. Actually, hanging out with them is like being interrogated by the FBI or the CIA. In fact, you'd rather be interrogated by the CIA in a black site and be waterboarded than go and have lunch with these people. It's more refreshing. It's honest. There's a certain honesty in that than the sweet tea friends that you hang out with that don't care about you, that don't support you, that don't advocate on behalf of you, that never done anything for you, they've never shown up for you. Nothing, but yet they're your friends. Come on. And it's the same thing with family. You know, most of you have this illusion of family. You hold on to this pretense or illusion of family. But it's like, you know, I would like to be a part of a family where people lift each other up, where people advocate on behalf of each other, where people share their tips and their tools with each other, where they guide each other and help each other and mentor each other. That to me is a family worth being a part of. That's where I want to spend my time. I don't want to go and hang out with people where it's like an MMA knockdown, drag out, smackdown, WWE, whatever, F. It's like, who wants that? Nobody wants that. I don't want to be anywhere where I can't be myself. So nope, I'm not coming to Thanksgiving dinner. Nope, not coming for Christmas. Nope, not coming for Shabbat dinner. Nope, not coming over. Yep, absolutely getting divorced. Yep, absolutely moving on. Yep, absolutely choosing myself. Why? Because I don't need you. And you don't need anyone. And you never have. It's just that you've been hypnotized, brainwashed, and bamboozled into believing the love is outside of you, and therefore you need these other people to love you. So your loving yourself has become a source of suffering for people in your life, a source of frustration, a source of anger. They're worried about you. They're praying for you. They think you've gone off the deep end. They think you've bought one too many crystals. They're totally disparaging, criticizing, judging, blaming, and shaming you, and gaslighting the living daylights out of you. Why? Because you've discovered where love is. And this is the problem. This is the inherent fundamental problem in waking up. Once you've been touched by the truth that lives within you, you can't accept the illusion anymore. You can't accept the inauthenticity. You can't sit there and pretend that you're enjoying a lunch with someone. You can't sit there and pretend that you're enjoying hanging out with people that just tear each other down, that also happen to just coincidentally look like each other, but all they do is tear each other down. Of course you don't want that. To continue to choose that is to be a sadomasochist. And if your lifestyle choice is to be a sadomasochist, then that's wonderful. But most of you did not, as a lifestyle, choose sadomasochism. But what you are actually constituting as friendships, and what you are actually constituting as marriages and parenting dynamics and grandparenting dynamics and family dynamics and peer groups and social circles is the equivalent, the tantamount definition of sadomasochism. Every time you go there, you get beaten up. And they find a new, innovative, interesting way to beat you up. But the outcome is the same. You don't feel good. You don't feel good. For some of you, this is what religion was. You would have a date every Sunday to go somewhere that made you feel horrible about yourself for 3 hours. Come on. Nobody wants that. Who wants that? So when you love yourself, you can't accept all of this stuff anymore because it doesn't resonate with you. It's too late for you. Now, here's the magic of this. When you actually love yourself, it becomes self-fulfilling and it catalyzes everything. You know, like, for example, like I know that I'm loved. I know you love me. I love all of you, right? There you have it. So at that point, of course, I'm going to take care of myself. Of course, I'm going to advocate on behalf of my diet, my nutrition, my well-being. Of course, I'm going to advocate on behalf of my longevity. Why? Because I know that I'm loved. I know there's love in me. I can feel it when I'm with you all. It's not because of you all, but I can feel it. And I know that that's why people from all over the world who don't even speak English show up here, because they can feel it too. So what's happened here in Call to Calm is that we have actually accessed something real within ourselves. And we don't need it from outside of us anymore. We don't need it. And therefore we don't have to play the games. We don't have to participate in the illusion. We don't have to keep up the pretense and the facade of anything. I think for me, the greatest thing that ever happened to me was Jan. Because I had somebody in my life who fiercely advocated on behalf of me, no matter what. She'd tell me whatever she had to say to me in private to make me wake up and to be the totality of who I am. And my mum's the same way. But they both have my back. They've both always had my back. My grandma was the same way. And they've always been very transparent with me. And at moments when they've had to sit down with me and say, hey, you know what? You need to kind of take a look at this a little bit. It's great. That's what love is too. But you know, you all know the feeling now. So just close your eyes and breathe and relax. And let's just become aware of all these sweet tea friends that are just bad for your health. And all these family members that are just family in name. It's enough already. Last time I checked, you're not a sadomasochist. If you are, great. But even those of you that actively pursue a lifestyle of sadomasochism don't want to hang out with these people. Hello? The family reunion is the dungeon that you are not frequenting. Keep breathing, keep relaxing, and open your palms. Becoming aware of every sweet tea friend that you have, where it's just inauthentic, totally inauthentic, never shown up a moment for you ever, never made themselves available for a single moment, ever. And then family members that are just family in name. They look like you, but they're useless. Just seat fillers. Bench warmers. Never called you, never advocated on behalf of you. They all have an opinion about you, but when have they ever shown up for you? That's just family in name. And then the illusion of a marriage, the illusion of a relationship where you're with someone just going through the motions. You all know you're living a lie, but it's convenient. Maybe there's some illusion of security and safety, and you don't want to rock the boat, but there's no connection there. Same thing with your kids. Same thing with grandkids. Same thing everywhere. It's just time to be honest. I choose what's real today. I choose to be around people who genuinely, authentically love me, who call me, who actively check on me to see how I'm doing, without me even needing to call them. People who actively want to support me and lift me up without me even asking. People who actually appreciate me and value me. People who genuinely want the best for me, even sometimes when it's hard for them to communicate certain things or share certain things with you, the fact that they love you enough to do so. Because they love you. Last time I checked, that's what family is. Last time I checked, that's what friendship is. That's what a marriage is. Two people who constantly want to evolve and grow and support each other. Is it ever going to be perfect? No. But there's a commitment to growth and evolution and love and respect. There's no way I'd be who I am today without Jan. There's no way I'd be who I am today without Mira Desai and without Grandma Shanti. There's no way. None of you would be here. None of this would be happening. So it's time to put that battery in your back. And it's time to realize how much time you've been wasting on sweet tea friends. Oh, sweet as sugar. Sweet as sweet tea. But if you drink too much of it, that's a runaway freight train of like diabetes heading in your general direction. Horrible. And I don't care that this flies in the face of social convention. I don't care that this flies in the face of family constructs. I don't care that this flies in the face of whatever. You're just not going to live a life based in need anymore, and you're not going to be beholden to anyone ever again. Sorry. You're just not. Because the last time I checked, the only thing that is more valuable than anything else is our time. Why are we wasting it, beloved? Why are we wasting it? Why are you wasting it? I love you. Why? Why? So can you understand that love is not based in need? It's not based in need. And it's not based in need because the people that love you will tell you uncomfortable things. They'll challenge you. Because they love you. So, leave me a 1 or yes in the chat if you can see now that you know what love is, and that this is totally inconvenient to everyone in your life who wants to keep you how you used to be so they can continue to have a relationship with you. That's just a relationship in name. It was never really a relationship. It was all based in need. You were gaslighted into it, coerced into it, bullied into it, manipulated into it, guilted or shamed into it. They made you feel less than so they could continue to have a one-up on you. It's horrible. And for some of you, even spirituality became this too, where you've given your power and your authority away to other people. Come on, you're the source of it all. So once you know what love is, you're awake. You're awake. Once you know what love is, you're awake. You're awake. You're awake. You're awake. You can't go back to sleep. And then, the shakeout happens, and then you start to be catalyzed. And at that point, you're doing it to yourself. You catalyze yourself. Because let's face it, it feels good to be in the presence of love. It feels good to be in the presence of people who actually want the best for you, who lift you up, who advocate on behalf of you. It feels good, doesn't it? Well, isn't that what you deserve in your short time on this planet? Last time I checked, you're all adorable human beings. Every one of you deserves that. So let's no longer be complicit in participating in things that aren't loving, that aren't kind, that aren't compassionate, that aren't supportive. Like if you have a trainer who just plays Candy Crush for 60 minutes in the gym while you just stand there, and that's what you call working out, you should probably fire that trainer. Now I'm using a very extreme metaphor, but for some of you, that's what your marriage is. For some of you, that's what your so-called friendships are. For some of you, that's what your everything is. Why? Because you have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and brainwashed into believing that love is not inherently present within you. So, how many of you can see that your awakening, your remembrance of love within you, is totally inconvenient for everyone around you? They can't stand it. They hate it. What's wrong with you? You've gone so woo-woo. You've lost your mind. Actually, no, you're just sober and sane. You're doing well. You're actually choosing yourself and advocating on behalf of love. If that's what losing your mind is, then may we all lose our minds. So just acknowledging, I know this is hard for some of you because some of these have been lifelong friendships and lifelong family dynamics. But just taking some breaths and just seeing every relationship for what it really is. Does this actually support me? Does this actually uplift me? Is it affirming of who I really am? And listen, sometimes people who love you have to say things to you that can be challenging and hard. It's not always going to be easy. But you always can feel where it's coming from. They're not sharing things with you to tear you down. They really are sharing things with you that are uncomfortable because they love you. Can you see the difference? So once you've accepted and experienced something real, the illusion loses its appeal. It just loses its appeal. It has no power over you anymore. It has no power over you. And then, you'd rather go walk outside, hang out with a squirrel, just appreciate that squirrel just hanging out, being a squirrel, than go hang out and have lunch with sweet tea friends. I mean, be honest, how many of you would rather be tortured at CIA black site than have lunch with some of these sweet tea friends? Leave me a one or yes in the chat. It'd be way more fun for me, personally. Okay, come get me, get the van, put the hood on my head. Just take me to an undisclosed location. I'll tell you everything. Let's have some real, honest interaction here. Even if it is slightly forced. Right? God. So, do you understand how blessed you are to know what love is and how inconvenient it is for other people? And that it is okay that it's inconvenient for other people. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to go back and apologize and make amends. It's an absolute waste of your time. The matrix, the illusion, the simulation is committed to keeping you in your old version of yourself. There is no benefit to you living in the totality of who you are now and why you are here. None. None. It's inconvenient. Because you see, your loving yourself makes people look at themselves, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. They don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to look at... This is why when you get divorced, people think that they can catch divorce. Divorcees make people who are unhappily married uncomfortable. Do you understand? It's not the fact that you got divorced. It's the fact that you had the courage to love yourself, and now it's really inconvenient for everyone who is miserable in a marriage or in a relationship to hang out with you because you actually chose yourself and they don't have the courage to do the same. So you have to recognize that yes, your loving yourself is totally inconvenient for everyone in your life. Especially if you just have a family that's a family in name, never done a thing for you ever in their lives, except tear you down. And it's also inconvenient for every sweet tea friend that you have, who you just can't stand hanging out with. It's inconvenient for everyone, actually, because you don't need anyone anymore. You don't need an industry, you don't need your peers, you don't need your colleagues, you don't need your family, you don't need your friends. You don't actually need anyone. You can actually live in the truth of yourself, live from your heart, and then choose to be in a relationship. Choose to be in a relationship. At that point, everything that you engage in becomes a choice. And the choice is, where do I spend my time? Do you understand? So there's a certain level of honesty that you all have to cultivate with yourselves. And once you get to that place of honesty, whoa, it's wonderful. I love being married. I love being a dad. Challenging? It's supposed to be. Would I trade it in for anything? Never. It's great, right? I love the friends that I have. I love the people that show up for me every day. Love it. They want the best for me. I want the best for them. It's fantastic. Love this community. We all support each other and actually advocate on behalf of each other while we're going through some of the most excruciating, extraordinary circumstances any human being could ever go through. So when you love yourself, you begin to draw into your life or bring into your experience people who love themselves. Thanks for being those people. Thanks for being those individuals. Right? And how blessed we are, right? To be able to get up every day, click on a Zoom link, and just acknowledge the fact that we're actually wonderful, that we're actually doing well. That, yeah, we might be going through some things in our lives, but we're not alone in it at all. And actually what's happening has nothing to do with the love that we are. Nothing. And so just thank you for modeling and demonstrating what love is, and for actually having the courage to opt out of everything that you've been complicit in participating in, that is just love in the form of language and words. A family member who just happens to be related to you. A friend who just happens to be someone who you've had in your life. Beloved, I think it's important at some point that you choose yourself, you choose love, and you choose the people that are really there for you. And I'll tell you, anytime you go through anything in your life that's tough and hard, you'll figure out who's really got your back and who's really there for you. Some of you already know. So thanks for listening to me today. I know sometimes it's hard to hear, but we've got to be free of these sweet tea friends and these family members that are just family in name. It's enough already. Last time I checked, you weren't pursuing sadomasochism as a lifestyle. So let's stop pursuing sadomasochistic tendencies as it relates to family interactions and friendships. And if you are pursuing a sadomasochistic lifestyle, good for you. But even you don't want to hang out with these people. Even you love yourself enough to not put yourself in these situations with these individuals. Send you all my love today. All right, Laurel. Stop typing Om Shanti heart emoji. Laurelyn? Day 1575. Great. That's a lot of days. All right, close your eyes and breathe and relax. Good morning, sweet friends, and welcome to another Call to Calm meditation. Your awakening and your loving yourself is frustrating the living daylights out of everyone in your life. They don't know what to do at all. Period. They're sitting there telling you that you've lost your mind, that you've gone insane, purchased one too many crystals, read one too many self-help books, whatever it is that they can do to try and guilt you and shame you back into a relationship with them. They're doing it. And of course, the truth is that now you know that you don't need anyone, that love authentically originates from within you. Dare I say it, you are actually lovable and the source of love in your life. You've just been projecting on everyone else. Then you begin to recognize that you don't need these sweet tea friends. You don't need these inauthentic connections and relationships. You don't want to hang out with anyone who you don't really want to hang out with. In fact, in some cases, your circle may become smaller, it's you, yourself, and you, but you actually love being with you, right? And you especially don't need to go hang out in these knockdown, drag-out family dynamics where this family that's only a family in name has done nothing but absolutely tear you down, not support you, not advocate on behalf of you, not show up for you, and yet they all have all these wonderful opinions about you. It's enough. Close your eyes, you beautiful human beings. Take some long, deep cleansing breaths and open your palms. Resting in the awareness of your breath transforms your life into a living meditation. Becoming aware of your every inhalation and exhalation. Seated where you are or laying down, seeing yourself in this beautiful light, this beautiful love. That's who you are. That's the truth of you. That's who you've always been. And this morning, severing every connection to every family member that's just family in name. Just to clarify, family members that never call you, that have never shown up for you, that have never advocated on behalf of you, that have never supported you, that have never uplifted you, never shared the codes, never shared the secrets, never mentored you, never offered you anything in any meaningful way. Family just in name. One by one, just severing all of those connections. It's okay to graduate from these dynamics and move on. And then while we're at it, becoming aware of every sweet tea friend that you have. It's totally inauthentic, absolute waste of your time. You hate yourself afterwards. You can't get your time back. And it's horrible. Using a saw to sever the connection. And then doing the same for marriages, relationships, peer groups, social circles, everything. Just severing the connection to everything that's inauthentic in your life. Business partners, financial dynamics, you name it. If it's not loving, it's not for you. Just continuing to rest in the awareness of your breath. And just recognizing that when you love yourself, you can't participate in any dynamic based in need anymore. Because you've discovered that the only person that you need is you. And the only place where the love's going to come from is your own heart. So just severing every connection until the people that are left are the people who actually love you, actually call you, actually check on you. They text you to see how you're doing. They email you to catch up. They're genuine in their wanting to pursue a relationship with you. They sit down, they hold your hand, they look in your eyes, they listen to you. They really love you. They do everything for you. They do things for the family. They do things because they love, not because they have to or need to, but because they love you. Getting in touch with the feeling and the experience of what love really is. And waving goodbye to everything and everyone that is not people who don't love themselves, people who don't respect themselves, people who don't know that that same love is within them too. Continuing to breathe and relax and just setting yourself free today. I don't need any family members who are just family in name. I don't care that they look like me. And I also don't need any sweet tea friends. I choose what's real. I choose what's meaningful. I choose what's authentic. Spending my time with people is a joy. It's a celebration. It's uplifting, it's energizing. I want a life that's a reflection of the love that I feel and know every day within myself. No longer needing to participate in any social construct, any form of mindless consumption, any form of fitting in and belonging, because you fit in and belong in your heart, right here, in your heart. You're free. You're free. Free of every relationship, free of every dynamic, free of everything that is not supportive, not kind, not respectful, and not loving. Free. Free of any place or space that makes you feel horrible, makes you question your goodness. Free of everything that isn't love, that isn't loving. Good. Just continuing to breathe and relax. And celebrating the fact that you now know where love is. That your acceptance of yourself has now allowed you to love yourself. Continuing to rest in the awareness of your breath. Making peace with the fact that you're loving yourself is a source of frustration for others. A source of jealousy that elicits or evokes whatever it does in them. And then just loving yourself anyway. Because what are you going to do? Go back to sleep? Continue to beg and plead with others for what you already are? I don't think so. Just continuing to rest in the awareness of your breath. And acknowledging that it's okay to want no part of a family that's just a family in name. And to want no part of a friendship that's exhausting, cumbersome, inauthentic, and just an all-round epic waste of time. A career that's just a career in name, a marriage that's just a marriage in name, a parenting dynamic that's just a parenting dynamic in name. Anywhere where you're living in the illusion of it, but you're not experiencing the truth of it. Good. Just noticing how you feel. For some of you, may be present to emotion. Others of you may be present to relief. Others of you can now cancel your CIA black site interrogation and waterboarding that you had scheduled because you'd rather do that than hang out with some of these people. Please just take me. That way I don't have to go to the lunch or the dinner. Oh, just come get me. Just fly me anywhere. Do you know where you are? No, but I'm so grateful that I'm not sitting at lunch with the person I was supposed to have lunch with. Do you know why you're here? No, but just keep me, please, forever. I don't want to leave. I like the authenticity of this. I much prefer this over everything that I called my life. So, top tip. Love is who you are, beloved. Can't change that. It's totally inconvenient for everyone in your life. But love is who and what you are. And it doesn't matter that people don't get that. It doesn't matter that people can't accept it. You're not loving yourself for them. You're loving yourself for you. You know, when I first began Call to Calm, I wasn't sure if you were all real. You know, I mean, obviously there's names in the chat and numbers on the screen, and you know, I could see that there were thousands of people here. But until I came to an in-person event, I didn't know that you were all real. Like, that's why I was so happy when we did an in-person event. People actually signed up to come. I was relieved, actually. I'm like, wow, okay, these people are actually real. And, you know, I think that in-person events are actually that for so many people because we're all here online. We're all names online. We all type emojis in the chat and supportive sentiments and whatever. Like, I get that, right? And if you're watching this on YouTube, you're all these usernames and everything. But it's another thing to know that people who actually love themselves exist in the world. It's another thing to know that people who want to advocate on behalf of what's real and authentic actually exist in the world. It's a difference between knowing that unicorns are real and then actually meeting a unicorn, right? It's like, for me, I have to tell you that every time we get together in person, it just makes me love myself more and advocate on behalf of myself more. Because now, not only do I want to do it for myself, I'm going to do it for all of you and for my family and for my mom and dad and for everyone in my life. So this is the blessing of actually having it reinforced in person and being in physical proximity with each other. And the blessing is, when we do get together, because we're not all getting together because we're all fundamentally flawed and we all have to work on ourselves, right? It's so nice. It's so wonderful. That there's nothing more refreshing than being in the presence of a person who's fully accepted themselves and has some awareness of the love that they are. I think that's why I do these in-person events. Because I love unicorns. I want to meet them in person and just know that they're real. And that's what you all are. You see, you're all unicorns in the world. Like, how rare is it that you actually love yourself? That you actually know what love is and where it comes from. That you actually don't want to waste your time anymore in inauthentic situations and dynamics. Right? Like, it's so rare. It's almost like all of you are mythological creatures that only become manifest in reality when we get together in physical form. And so I can't wait personally for December the 5th through 7th. Can't wait. It's a real sanity check for me because I spend all of my time just in a room talking to myself. All of you just happen to be here. So it's nice that everyone is still real and still very much a unicorn. And, I think it's wonderful for us to be supported in real time as well. So for those of you that would like that experience, come. Happy to see you. I think there's an early bird discount that disappears on Sunday. So I'll be there. I'm already signed up. I can't wait. It's great for me. And it just makes me love myself more. It just makes me stop wasting my time more. It makes me choose the love that I am more. So everyone who's coming, great. Everyone who has yet to sign up, I'll see you there. I can't wait. But it's really wonderful. What else is going on? It's Wednesday, group alignment session today. So group alignment sessions are semi-private. So if you need any additional support or would just like to explore acceptance and love in a deeper way, see you there. Also, if any of you need any support in severing these connections and ties to sweet tea friends and family members that are just families in name, or relationships with people that are just a relationship definition in name, but there's really nothing relational about it at all in any way. Anywhere where there's any need is where you haven't accepted and loved yourself and owned your power. So there you have it. Slightly different monologue today. Thanks for bearing with me. Sometimes you just have to get it all out because you deserve it. You deserve to know that loving yourself doesn't make you insane or wrong or bad. That actually loving yourself is great. It's great. And also, just preemptively, for anyone who loves drinking sweet tea, long may your sweet tea consumption continue. I needed a descriptor, so I used sweet tea. Nothing against anyone who likes it. I personally can't drink it. Okay? So we are a sweet tea drinking inclusive community. Yeah. All right. Send you all my love. Yeah. It's Wednesday. The earth is still spinning. Live long and prosper. live long and prosper. Ciao for now.